Hello everyone, welcome back to Tarot. Thank you so much for always following and supporting the channel. The moment you're watching this video is the perfect time to receive its message. On this channel, I always bring you insights about what's coming up in your life. When you open your heart and believe in the positive, you are also connecting with a parallel world, one where your wishes have already come true. Today, through this reading, I hope to help you unlock the possibilities of the future and support you on your journey to conquer love and manifest your heart's desires. The topic of today's reading is what this person is about to tell you. So, let's find out what's coming your way. I've prepared 3 cards corresponding to Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Listen to your intuition and choose the card you feel most drawn to. Then, click the timestamp in the description box to go directly to your reading. Now, let's begin the reading for those of you who have made your choice. Hello to those who chose Pile 1. Thank you for your patience. Now, I'll begin the reading for those of you who selected the first pile. I hope this reading brings you healing, new insights, and moments filled with love. The topic of today's reading is what this person is about to tell you. However, for this first question, rather than focusing on whether they will actually say it out loud, we'll concentrate on what they truly want to say, whether they express it or not. The first card that appears is the Knight of Wands. This card carries an intense, passionate energy, fiery and full of desire. The next card is the Four of Cups. And this is truly intriguing. This person, although they may come across as shy or emotionally reserved, is actually holding something very clearly in their heart. They feel lonely. There is a deep sense of loneliness here, unmistakably. It's possible that the two of you haven't been able to meet lately, or even if you haven't had much time together. You might still be in touch, but the connection may have been reduced to basic exchanges, like confirming schedules or checking in about work, rather than meaningful conversations or heartfelt sharing. They may be the kind of person who isn't good at expressing emotions through messages, or someone who finds it awkward to articulate their feelings in writing. It's also possible that although you're still in contact, the two of you haven't had the time to truly listen to each other, to sit down, breathe, and share in a calm and gentle way. All of this is creating a sense of distance within them. And that distance is making them deeply sad. They feel your absence. They feel as if they can no longer sense your heart. What they're really saying deep down is a very clear message of loneliness. And more than that, this loneliness they're feeling isn't just a fleeting emotion, it feels like something that has been building up over time, to the point of almost reaching its limit. As if they've been trying to endure it for so long, but now the emotions are rising, becoming stronger and harder to ignore. At this moment, their feelings are incredibly intense. It's as though they're thinking, I want to act. I want to see that person. I want to express how I feel. And that surge of energy, the very essence of the Wands suit, is rising powerfully within them. It's like they're being driven by an emotion that can no longer be contained, a fire that's flaring up from within, especially fueled by the overwhelming sense of loneliness. This loneliness stems from the fact that they can't feel your love in a close and genuine way. They deeply want to be near you, to experience your emotions firsthand. I get the sense that there's some physical distance between the two of you, or perhaps it's simply that you haven't had the time or space to meet each other in a calm and meaningful way. And they're expressing all of this with a wave of pent-up emotions. For some of you, it's possible that you've already broken up with this person. I sense that possibility too. And even in such cases, they still feel incredibly empty without seeing you. Now, I want to make this clear. I'm not saying whether or not they're currently seeing someone else, so if that thought hasn't crossed your mind, feel free to ignore this part. But since many people are watching this reading, I want to mention all possibilities. Even if this person does have someone beside them now, or if you suspect that they might, what's clear is this: they still feel lonely because they miss you. The real emptiness comes from not being able to feel your heart. That's what leaves them hollow. And because of this, it's very likely that they'll act on their emotions in a sudden and impulsive way. They might unexpectedly show up to see you, or send you a message out of the blue. It's as if they're being swept up by an emotional wave they can no longer hold back. And what they're trying to say is this: I'm lonely. I want to see you. Their feelings may have reached a point where it feels like, if they don't speak up now, they might never get the chance to see you again. Perhaps their schedule has been overwhelmingly busy. Or maybe you, the one watching this reading, have come across as someone who's not easily approachable. You may appear to be in a good place, emotionally strong, and that could be making them feel unsure of how to reach you. If you're someone who struggles to express your emotions openly, or you're unsure of how they feel and therefore hesitant to take initiative, then it's possible that there is a gap between the two of you right now. In that case, this person is feeling very alone, very empty. They sense that if they're not the one to break the silence, there may never be another opportunity to see you again. And it's exactly this sense of lack, not being able to meet you, to hear you, or to feel you, that is haunting them. One more thing. This person seems to be someone who tends to hide their true emotions, someone a bit emotionally stubborn or even emotionally contrary. They might be the type who's very resistant when it comes to expressing feelings. In the past, you were likely the one who always took the initiative, saying I love you, initiating meetings, expressing how you felt, while they remained silent, rarely showing affection or saying anything sweet in return. Because of that, you may have started to feel exhausted. You may have questioned whether they truly loved you at all, or if you were the only one making an effort. Perhaps you eventually decided to stop reaching out, to stop taking the lead, or to stop saying you liked them the way you once did. And when you pulled back, this person, who had grown used to you always being the one to reach out, suddenly didn't know what to do. Because they are someone who tends to move in the opposite direction of emotion, more comfortable receiving than giving, they were caught off guard when you stopped. Even though they might desperately want to reach out now, they find themselves unable to say a word. That very nature of theirs makes them feel clumsy and unsure of how to move toward you. This person is unable to voice their feelings. They can't bring themselves to say, I'm lonely. All along, they've chosen silence, quietly enduring, always hoping you would be the one to reach out first. But now, you've stopped doing that. And that's exactly what has pushed their sense of loneliness to its peak. They're the kind of person who's stubborn, someone who doesn't easily open up about their emotions. But now, they're beginning to realize, if I don't say I miss you, if I don't say I want to see you, I may never get the chance to see you again. And they're being overtaken by a powerful emotion. Should I just say it already? It's a feeling that's almost unbearable, as if they've reached their breaking point. However, everything shared so far reflects what this person wants to say, what's burning inside their heart, not necessarily what they will actually say out loud. Whether they will truly express these feelings or not is something I'll explore further in the next part. Now, we move into the heart of the reading, what this person is about to actually say to you. Let's listen closely. Oh, one card has jumped from the deck, the Hierophant. A major arcana. Very powerful. The next card, the Hermit. And now, I'll continue by pulling one more card from the Oracle deck. This card appearing here, it's truly something special. So, what is it that this person is about to say to you? The message is conveyed very clearly through the Oracle card I just pulled. This card speaks of fragments of memory, of broken pieces from past experiences that have left a profound imprint on their subconscious. And it is precisely these imprints that have led them to where they are now, a place where they are seeking healing. This card reveals that this person has chosen to enter this life experience with the purpose of finding healing. And their choice to enter a connection like the one between you and them, that, too, is a part of the healing journey their soul has chosen at a deep subconscious level. This means that even if they are not fully aware of it, their soul chose to meet you, to love you, to connect with you, because this relationship offers a form of healing they deeply need. More specifically, it's likely that in the past, this person never truly articulated their feelings. They may never have clearly said I choose you, or what this relationship meant to them. They might have said things like I like you, but only in passing, never delving into the depths of their emotions, never truly confronting themselves to determine what you meant in their life, and where they truly wanted to go with this relationship. And it is in this very moment, when they stand at the edge of their loneliness, when emotions rise to the surface, when their subconscious is being stirred, that they begin to truly face it. They are on the verge of saying something they've never said before. Not just I like you or I miss you, but something far deeper. I realize you are a part of my healing journey. And that choosing to connect with you is a choice made by their soul. This person may have said things like I want to be with you, simple, familiar words. But the deeper truths, what this relationship truly means, the place you hold in their heart, those may have remained unspoken. And yet, they've been thinking about it constantly. Silently, they've been reflecting, contemplating deeply within themselves. You may be someone who is officially in a relationship with them, or perhaps the two of you have never been in a formal relationship, but have stayed in frequent contact and remained connected in daily life. Regardless of the situation, whether you're dating or not, whether you see each other often or only occasionally, there is one thing that's clear. This person has long been uncertain about who you truly are to them and what they actually want from this connection. They had never clearly expressed that. They may have shown care, perhaps offered loving gestures or actions, but they never spoke the essential truths like, where do I want this relationship to go? Or what role do you play in my journey? But now, they are saying that everything within them has become clearer. They've come to understand it. Whether they are someone currently in a committed relationship with you, or someone involved in a more ambiguous connection, if the two of you still have opportunities to interact regularly in everyday life, then it is precisely through those moments spent together that they've been thinking deeply, silently asking themselves, and slowly answering, who are you to me? And how do I want this relationship to grow? They've taken time to face themselves. And in that stillness, in this very moment, they've realized something profoundly important, that you are a part of them. They feel you as a soul counterpart, someone who belongs to them in a natural, deeply spiritual way. And that realization has awakened them. They are saying that your presence has brought them a deep sense of healing. And along this journey toward healing, they made a choice to be with you, to connect with you. It was a decision born of awareness, not something impulsive or fleeting. They've thought about it deeply, and now they understand. They've come to realize that this relationship between the two of you is not a coincidence. It has been guided by a force far greater, from somewhere deep within. This is what they want to tell you. Even for those of you who have already broken up, who are no longer in contact, or who don't have opportunities to see each other in daily life, within that long silence, this person is still there, quietly facing themselves. They're asking, what do I truly feel about this relationship? From the depths of my heart, what is it that I long for? What do I honestly want for myself and for them? And then came the realization that somewhere deep within the subconscious, perhaps even from a past life, there was already a connection between the two of you. This may resonate strongly with many of you watching this reading. And now, as their subconscious stirs awake, they've come to understand that you are someone they were meant to meet, someone they were destined to encounter on this journey. This was never a random meeting, it was something orchestrated by fate. They've come to realize that you have been, are, and will always be a profound source of healing in their life. And perhaps, you are also the place they long to return to. That's why they've made a choice to seek healing, and that choice means choosing to be with you. Because it is only when they are near you that they truly feel whole. You are the one they feel as a soul counterpart, an essential part of their emotional world. Without you, without your presence, they feel incomplete. Even for those of you who are still in a relationship with this person, still seeing each other regularly, they carry a quiet fear inside, that one day you might walk away, that the bond between you might vanish, that your lives may stop intersecting. And if that were to happen, they would feel as though they'd lost themselves. As if they would no longer know who they are without you by their side. What this person is saying now is, I see it clearly now. I recognize that this is a guided connection. I recognize that you are the one who brings deep healing to my soul. And although I've often said that you shouldn't overly rely on concepts like twin flame, I also understand that among those watching this reading, some of you may truly feel that this is a soul-level connection. Some of you may not feel that way. But whether or not this is a twin flame connection, one thing is certain. This person has come to recognize that you are the one who has brought them the deepest sense of comfort. And now, they want to choose that. They want to choose to be with you, the one who brings healing. They want to return or continue walking this path with you because they've realized that you are the place where their heart feels most gentle, most whole. Right now, they are not able to be with you, and that is why they feel such intense loneliness. It's precisely because of this realization that they feel alone. Whether the two of you are currently apart or still have some connection and continue to encounter each other in daily life, if the future between you remains uncertain, if the relationship still feels undefined, that sense of ambiguity creates a void. That very feeling of incompleteness, of not knowing where things stand, is what brings them sadness, loneliness, and deep emotional unease. And that is what this person wants to say, that they've realized it now. You are someone they cannot live without. And it's not just a realization, they've made a choice. The card made it clear, they have chosen you. They want to convey that to you, to say, I've made my choice. I choose you to walk this path with me. It's beautiful, truly profound, and deeply moving. Whether or not you believe in the concept of twin flames, whether or not you see this relationship as destined, what matters most isn't the label, but the genuine feeling this person has come to understand. They now know you are irreplaceable. That this connection was never random, but guided by something greater. Because just the thought of losing you, the mere idea of a life without you, grips their heart with unbearable pain. For those of you who are no longer in contact, who have gone your separate ways, this person is now feeling, with piercing clarity, that letting this relationship end permanently is simply not something they can accept. Because they've realized, you are a part of them. You are the missing half. Without you, they feel empty, incomplete, no longer themselves. What they long to say is this: I've come to understand. I need you. And I choose you. Now we move on to explore the deeper meaning behind those words, what emotions truly reside in their heart, and what has led them to this awakening. We're now going to dive into the reason, the catalyst that brought about this realization. I've drawn cards to shed light on this part. It could be a specific moment or a particular circumstance that helped them understand what their heart truly feels. I've pulled 2 cards, and this reading is unfolding with such clarity and direction. I get the strong sense that this person is someone who tends to be quiet, often silent, perhaps even stubborn and emotionally reserved. But their silence has never come from indifference. It comes from a deep desire to understand their own feelings. And now, they've come to understand them fully. The 2 cards that appeared are 3 of Wands and 2 of Pentacles. Both of these cards carry the energy of movement and change. And this clearly reinforces the message behind the words they want to say: I will change my present. I will take action. They've realized that you are the one who brings healing into their life. You are someone they cannot live without. And choosing you means they must change something about their current life. That is why the 3 of Wands appears a card of expansion, of long-term vision, of making plans for the future. They want to change their present reality. Because if they remain in their current situation, their job, their living environment, the relationships around them, or even their emotional state, they know they won't truly be able to be with you. They are saying, I will change this. And with the 2 of Pentacles, they are also expressing a shift, a balancing act, a process of recalibration and adaptability. This person has been juggling, adjusting, and rearranging things in their life in order to move closer to you. And it's not just empty words, they are ready. They are preparing, or may have already prepared, to take action. They are no longer standing still. They've made the decision: I will take action to change my reality because I have chosen you. This person is now in a state of complete clarity. There is no longer any hesitation or attachment to their current circumstances. Even if their present situation, the place they live, the job they do, the relationships and environment they are part of, are all things they once chose and poured effort into building over time, they no longer feel tied to it. They are saying, I no longer cling to that past. They are ready to look ahead, prepared in spirit to embrace change and begin a new journey. They want to move toward the future, a future that includes you, a place where they can live truthfully and find healing by your side. However, this doesn't mean everything can change overnight. They are still navigating the need for balance. There is a duality here between their current work and their feelings for you, between their responsibilities in the life they've built and their desire to step into a new chapter. Because in order to leave their present environment, to truly walk away and transform everything, they will need to let go of something. Perhaps a job, someone familiar, friends, colleagues, or a place they've long considered home. These things are not easy to release, not because they are still emotionally attached, but because those things still operate and exist as part of their reality. So, to come to you, to truly live beside you as they hope to, they must both leave and balance at the same time. There needs to be a transitional phase. They must navigate between the old and the new. But what matters most is this: they've decided to leave. They are ready for that change, and they are saying to you now, I'm on my way to you. And it's not just about the moment they leave. Even after stepping away from their old circumstances, this person will still need to maintain a certain balance. They may not necessarily need to stay in contact with the people or situations they've left behind, but stepping into a new journey with you means they'll have to adjust to an entirely different reality. For example, moving to a new place and rebuilding life from scratch also means they'll need to start a new job, adapt to a new environment, and take care of daily responsibilities, all of which are part of this significant transformation. Being with you, building a shared future with you, is not only about love, it's deeply tied to real, tangible changes in their life. They may need to begin a new career or learn to navigate a new role, a new setting. In other words, to truly live beside you, they must operate a completely new life, one that isn't just held in the heart, but also shaped by action and responsibility. They understand that to be with you, love alone is not enough. They know they must walk the path where love and reality coexist, nurturing the relationship with you while also carrying the responsibilities that come with a new life. It's a challenge, but it's the path they've chosen. And what they're saying is this: I want to build a new kind of relationship with you, one where we can truly be together, every day. To make that happen, they understand that cooperation is essential, that balance is needed. A relationship no longer marked by distance or ambiguity, but one defined by presence, living together, sharing life, building a future hand in hand, no matter how much adjustment or sacrifice that may require. This is the message they want to convey to you, that they are ready to find harmony, to maintain a balanced space between the love they hold for you and the other responsibilities life demands. And when they speak of balance or duality, you might momentarily wonder, does that mean they won't give me their whole heart? But no, that's not what they mean. On the contrary, what they truly want to tell you is this: in order to be with you for the long haul, they know they must build a stable foundation. They want to create a life that you can genuinely share with them, not just a romantic love affair, but a lasting partnership where the two of you stand side by side, day by day. And to make that happen, they understand they must continue fulfilling other responsibilities, such as work, finances, and living environment, while also nurturing your love. So, you don't need to worry that they're not focused on you, or that their feelings are scattered. Instead, understand this: all their preparations are for you, because you're the one they've chosen to walk forward with on the path ahead. And what they are saying is, I am ready. I hope you can receive this message with trust and openness, that everything they are doing now is with the intention of creating a relationship with you that is stable, enduring, and deeply genuine. And now we move on to the next part. Why was it that, in the past, this person couldn't say these things to you? Let's listen closely. What were they truly thinking and feeling during the time they remained silent, when they couldn't express themselves clearly to you? The card that has just been drawn speaks very clearly. Throughout this entire period, this person has lived with a belief that they must be someone exemplary. They felt they had to live by the book, to set an example, to be a role model for someone, or for a particular environment. This may be because they hold a position, a role of importance in society. Perhaps they carry a title, a significant responsibility, or are simply seen by others as a mentor, both in the literal and metaphorical sense. Even if they don't hold any special position, it's possible they were raised in a strict environment from an early age, taught that life must be lived according to rules, textbooks, and a clear sense of what is right. This deeply rooted belief shaped their subconscious, that living by standards, following the mold, is the proper way to live. So when their emotions began to rise, when their heart started to beat in a direction that might be seen as unconventional, outside the mold, or not widely accepted, they began to feel fear. Fear that if they followed the call of their feelings, they would no longer be seen as someone who lives by the rules. Fear that if they spoke the truth within their heart, what they truly wanted, what they genuinely felt, they would be judged, seen as misguided, as someone betraying the very image they had worked so hard to build. And so, they couldn't bring themselves to speak. They once believed that if they lived by emotion, if they expressed their true feelings, if they pursued what they truly wanted, they would no longer be someone worthy of recognition. That's why they chose silence. They chose to hide their real emotions not because they didn't have feelings for you, but because they believed that revealing them would mean losing the image they were striving to uphold. This is what they are finally beginning to voice, the very thing they never dared to confess before. And now, let's continue the reading to see, when they truly express those feelings, how will it impact the relationship between the two of you? Two cards have been drawn, the Page of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Both are court cards, and this indicates a beginning that is both vibrant and sincere. First, the Page of Wands signals that your relationship is about to enter a new chapter. And this new chapter isn't a well-paved road, nor is it a predictable path, it's an adventure. A journey full of color with an air of risk and many unknowns, but precisely because of that, it is filled with excitement, anticipation, and a deep sense of aliveness. They are not coming to you with a fixed plan like, we'll do this, then that. Instead, what they are saying is, I want to walk with you, even if I don't know what lies ahead, I still want to go with you. This beginning isn't something carefully calculated. It's a natural flow, a newly kindled flame, filled with a longing to live authentically, to share a genuine journey together. Of course, because it is an adventure, there will be moments of hardship, challenges, and things that won't come easily. But the core of it all is this: the two of you will walk together, learning together, overcoming together, and creating something that has never existed before. And then comes the Knight of Cups, a symbol of tender, sincere emotion and the spirit of heartfelt confession. This card shows that they won't just initiate this new journey, but will also express their love more clearly and directly. It is an invitation from the heart, an act born from deep emotion. A declaration, an emotionally charged gesture, no longer vague or hesitant. In other words, when they finally speak, it will mark the beginning of a new journey for both of you, a journey no one has ever walked before, but one that is genuine and lit by the fullness of the heart. Beyond the hardships, this relationship holds the promise of something truly beautiful: new joys, emotions you've never felt before, and experiences that neither of you has ever had the chance to live. Everything is unfolding like a brand new path, full of potential and radiant with light. And this new journey, though it may come with its share of challenges and uncertainty, will always be accompanied by excitement, emotional resonance, and the spirit of discovery. No one knows what lies ahead. But instead of fearing the unknown, the two of you will choose to move forward together, saying, even if we don't know what will happen, let's go anyway. That very choice is what makes the relationship vibrant, full of life, ever-evolving, and continuously growing. They will begin to express their emotions more clearly. The love and tender feelings they once tried to hide, once believed should not be shown, will now be spoken aloud. Especially in matters of love, the warmth, the affection, the deep care they hold for you, feelings they once thought were inappropriate to reveal, or believed that showing affection was somehow not proper, all of that will begin to be gently released. Perhaps this person was once stubborn, emotionally reserved, or simply not used to expressing their heart. But a recent awakening, a deep realization of their true feelings for you, has changed everything. And because of that, the relationship between you both is also beginning to shift in a meaningful way. The two of you will enter a new phase, where emotions can be shared more naturally. No more hiding, no more hesitation or doubt, just sincere exchange between two hearts. A relationship where both of you can speak your truth, where tender affections, genuine emotional stirrings, and heartfelt connection can be nurtured openly, warmly, and wholeheartedly. It's truly beautiful, a profound, positive, and promising transformation. And now, to close today's reading, I've drawn an oracle card to offer guidance just for you. The question posed is, when this person finally opens up to you, when they genuinely express their heart, how should you receive it? The card drawn is Petit Moi Real, which translates to the most aligned version of yourself. This card carries a very clear message: become the version of yourself that aligns with the present moment. But what does that truly mean? It means you don't have to try to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need to control the future with certainty. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to know exactly how everything will unfold. You don't need to box in your emotions or demand immediate clarity, stability, or resolution. The card encourages you to let go of the need to control everything, the need for a perfect plan or an unchanging future. Instead, allow yourself to soften, to open your heart, and to receive the love this person offers you just as you are, without forcing, without overthinking, without pressuring yourself to understand it all. In other words, when they come to you and say, I choose you, I want to build a life with you, you don't need to respond with a long-term plan or a flawless answer. Just your presence, being there with your heart, with your genuine feelings, is already more than enough. This is a journey born from sincerity, and it doesn't require you to be ready for everything. All it asks is that you stay true to your heart. That is the version of you most aligned with this moment. And that, in itself, is the most beautiful gift you can offer this relationship. Perhaps right now you don't truly know what this person is thinking. Maybe the two of you have broken up, or you're caught in a difficult situation that leaves you heartbroken. I believe that even they are hurting too, but you may not be able to see it. The only pain you can clearly feel is your own. You don't know if they're sad, if they still think about you, but you know for certain that you're hurting. Hurting because you don't know where this relationship is heading. Hurting because they haven't reached out. Hurting because they haven't expressed their heart. Hurting because yours is still reaching out to them, even when you don't know if they're still looking your way. And so, if one day they come to you and say, I want to live with you, I want to walk the path ahead with you, then surely, fear will rise within you. You won't want to be hurt again. That is completely natural. Because once you've known pain, you begin to guard yourself. You begin to doubt. And from that place, you might find yourself wanting to question and reconfirm everything. I believe you, but what if things turn out like before? Or you said that once already, what happened then? You might feel the need for reassurance. If you say you want to live together, does that mean marriage? When? Or what is your current situation? When will it change? You may want to clarify everything. You may crave certainty. You may want every question to be answered with precision. You may long for a promise, something solid, a guarantee that past mistakes will not be repeated. And I'm not saying any of that is wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't seek clarity or stability. But when this person comes to you and speaks their truth, no one is asking you to instantly accept everything unconditionally, without questions, without hesitation. No one expects you to say, I understand, while your heart is still filled with worry. Because feeling unsure is natural, especially after the pain you've been through. So, if you feel the need to say, I'm still a little unsure, but I want to believe you, so let me just ask one thing, that is completely okay. Expressing that you still carry some doubt but are trying to trust is entirely reasonable. However, if fear begins to take over, if doubt starts leading the way, and you find yourself asking a string of questions like, what if this happens again? What if you change your mind? When exactly will we get married? You promise this now. But what if you can't follow through, and then start tightening your grip, trying to make them commit to every detail, every possibility? Then you may unintentionally disrupt the beautiful flow that's making its way toward you. It's not that you shouldn't be cautious. It's not that you shouldn't ask. But if those questions become a web of tests, used to control every promise, and you begin to hold onto every word like future evidence, then love starts to lose its natural rhythm. It shifts from being a heartfelt connection into something more like a contract, one that demands verification for every clause. The card, the most aligned version of yourself, is reminding you that you don't need to be on such high alert. You don't need to grip love so tightly that it suffocates, just because you fear being hurt again. If the only way you feel safe to love is after everything has been confirmed and guaranteed, you might be missing the magic that is already unfolding before you. And as you can see, the energy coming your way this time is truly beautiful. This is a completely new journey, full of brightness and possibility. But if you enter it with too many walls, too many conditions, you might unintentionally interrupt that gentle, promising flow. Receive it with awareness, with genuine feeling, and with an open heart, not with a constant need for certainty or proof. Trust doesn't mean blindness. It's a conscious choice to live fully in the present, rather than only preparing against things that haven't even happened. That's why, when this person has taken the time to face themselves and come to such a clear decision, you're being invited to receive it with respect and grace. And if you feel the need to confirm it, then simply ask yourself, is this a conclusion he has genuinely come to after a period of honest self-reflection, and let that be enough. You don't need to keep questioning with things like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Are you sure everything won't repeat like before? Because those questions can place pressure on the other person and unintentionally make the atmosphere heavy and stifling. What truly matters is that the relationship between you two is beginning a new journey, a real adventure. And with any adventure, you can't predict what's going to happen. You may both find yourselves in situations that are confusing, chaotic, or even laughably unexpected, moments where you ask, oh my God, what is happening? What do we do now? And yet, you'll also find yourselves laughing together and saying, well, this isn't something just anyone gets to experience. Let's figure it out together. That's the spirit of a mature, loving journey, not one where every answer is known beforehand, but one where the two of you discover the answers as you go. So don't pressure yourself into needing every solution before you take the next step. Don't let the thought, if I don't know everything for sure, "I can't trust this," stop you from stepping into the miracle that's unfolding. Don't let worries about what hasn't yet happened pull you away from a beautiful flow that's already in motion. They're not asking you to love blindly. But at the same time, you don't need to control everything in order to trust. Love is not a contract that needs every clause signed. It's a journey where two people learn to trust together, to grow together. For those who feel that part of themselves tends to seek reassurance, like needing to double-check and confirm everything before feeling at ease, know that this tendency can sometimes make both you and your partner feel overwhelmed or emotionally drained. If you recognize that in yourself, perhaps now is the time to begin learning how to become a version of yourself that carries a bit more ease, a bit more spaciousness. Try to gently train your heart in that direction. It might serve you better. And no, this isn't about forcing yourself to do anything. But there's a simple mantra that, in my experience, can be surprisingly powerful: let it be. When you don't know how things will unfold, when vague worries creep into your heart, when anxiety makes it hard to breathe, those words, "let it be," might be the lifeline you need. Because the truth is, when it comes to the future, no matter how much we think about it in the present, we simply cannot know for sure. Until we actually arrive at that moment, we can't fully understand or predict what will happen. And because the future is always shifting, trying to control it or find a guaranteed answer is almost impossible. That's why, when you notice yourself beginning to worry about what's to come, try gently whispering to your heart, "let it be." And it's not just the future. This also applies to the past. The things you've done, the words you've spoken, the actions you now wish you had handled differently, once they've happened, they can't be undone. And if you keep thinking, "if only I hadn't done that," or "I wish it hadn't happened like that," you'll only burden yourself with more worry and exhaustion. So for those who often feel haunted by the past and find themselves overwhelmed with regret, offer yourself the same phrase, "let it be." Because what's already past cannot be changed, and the only thing left for you to do is learn how to release it. So when you say, "let it be," redirect your focus toward healing, toward mending what can still be mended, instead of endlessly dwelling or overthinking. Just that single phrase, "let it be," is enough to spark a shift. For anyone caught in the loop of regret over the past or drowning in anxiety about the future, compelled to double-check and overanalyze everything, try saying it out loud, "let it be. It will be okay." And from there, gently ask yourself, "so, what can I do to help things get better?" That line of thought is what leads you to the real answer. You'll begin to see what you can do, and that clarity is what will guide you out of the spiral. That is all I wanted to share with you. Right now, the energy is flowing in a beautiful, supportive direction, and I sincerely hope you will allow yourself to fully receive it. I wish for you to step into the most aligned version of yourself, and from there, walk hand in hand with this person on a journey that is whole, joyful, and meaningful. Maybe you once thought it was over between you two. But if deep down you feel that there's something between you, a resonance, a sense that you fit together like two matching pieces, then perhaps your adventure together is still waiting just ahead. No matter what has happened in the past, I truly believe that if both of you choose to move forward together, the path ahead will bring richness and depth to both your lives. So be brave. Dare to begin again, this time, wholeheartedly. Begin this journey that belongs to you and them alone. With that, I will close the reading for those of you who chose Pile 1. If today's message touched your heart even just a little, I would be so grateful if you could leave a small sign, a like, a comment, or even a tiny symbol to let me know that your heart has received it. Your presence and support are a precious source of inspiration, encouraging me to continue sharing even more heartfelt messages. Thank you for listening all the way to the end of the video. I look forward to seeing you again in the next reading. Hello to those of you who chose Pile 2. Thank you for your patience. Now, I will begin the reading for those who were drawn to this group. I hope that this message brings you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with love and understanding. Today's theme is what this person is about to say to you. First, let's explore the emotions they wish to express to you. This is not yet the main message of the reading, but rather a glimpse into the inner emotional world of this person, the silent feelings they long to put into words, even if they haven't been able to speak them aloud. Whether or not they will actually voice these thoughts will be discussed in the next part. For now, let's simply listen to what their heart wants to say to you, what their soul may be whispering from deep within, even if they themselves have never dared to speak it aloud. The first card drawn is the Five of Swords. And then, another card has just turned over, the Tower. The energy here suggests that even if things don't appear turbulent on the surface, something beneath is undeniably unsettled. The relationship between you two may currently be strained, awkward, or at the very least, marked by a growing emotional distance. Even if there hasn't been an explicit conflict, both of you may be silently harboring feelings that have yet to be expressed: dissatisfaction, disappointment, or lingering resentment. Perhaps it's out of fear of hurting one another, or simply because the right moment to speak hasn't come, so all of it remains repressed. For those of you who are clearly sensing the tension, recent arguments, or a noticeable disconnect, these two cards reflect that energy in a very direct way. But even if everything seems fine on the outside, yet there's a quiet unease building within, it may point to a subtle, unspoken tension between you, one where both of you carry unmet needs or unresolved concerns, but haven't yet found the space or courage to confront them honestly. The energy from these two cards is intense, expressing a deep yearning for release, for honesty, yet at the same time, carrying a strong current of fear of being hurt, fear of everything falling apart. This person is caught in an inner conflict. They want to speak, but they don't dare. They feel uncomfortable, but they don't know where to begin. And this is what they truly want you to understand, even if they can't yet find the words to say it out loud. It seems that something negative is currently lingering between you, something that leaves both of you feeling uneasy, yet unable to voice it. Deep within, this person longs to tell you that even though things may feel tense, even though they're holding things inside they don't know how to share, they still deeply wish for both of you to be able to talk openly. They hope for a relationship where hidden thoughts, frustrations, and quiet sorrows can be brought into the light, where they can be heard and understood with honesty and care. They're saying that they want to break through the current tension, to finally release the emotional knots that have left the relationship feeling stuck, so that the two of you can begin rebuilding a new, more genuine connection together. But this doesn't mean they want to end the relationship and return to being just friends, or grow distant from you. That's not it. What they truly want is a relationship where neither of you has to tiptoe around difficult truths anymore, where nothing important has to be hidden or left unsaid. From their perspective, the root of the tension lies in the fact that neither of you has really gotten used to expressing what's truly in your hearts. You're not used to speaking openly and honestly. Perhaps one of you has been keeping feelings in, afraid of upsetting or hurting the other. Or maybe they once tried to open up, but you didn't, or vice versa. Perhaps you've always tried to be transparent, while they've withdrawn into silence. Or, in the more painful version of this pattern, maybe both of you have been holding back, each one silently carrying the very things that matter most. And that's why they're yearning for something simple, yet deeply important, that the two of you can be honest with each other, genuinely honest, and become people who can share everything, even the difficult things, so that together you can build a new foundation, one that is stronger, more grounded, and more sincere. They're saying they no longer want to be in a relationship where both of you feel the need to hide what you truly think, especially the hard things, the uncomfortable truths, the negative emotions, or even the opinions that might lead to disagreement or conflict. They don't want a relationship where you have to avoid the truth just to maintain a false sense of peace. Instead, they want both of you to enter a new phase, one where every feeling is allowed a voice, where you can communicate openly, even if it means you won't always see eye to eye. In the past, there may have been a kind of hesitation between the two of you, a quiet fear of crossing the boundary of politeness, or a worry that speaking up might cause pain. But now, they want to leave that hesitation behind. They want to build a new connection, a relationship where everything can be said, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it sparks disagreement or even arguments. Because they believe that only a relationship strong enough to face conflict and truth can truly last. They admit that at times, they may express things that come across as personal or even a little selfish. But instead of bottling everything up and letting it build, what they truly wish for is a space where both of you can share such feelings, even the moments of frustration. It's not because they expect you to accept everything unquestioningly, nor because they want the freedom to speak without care. It's because they genuinely want this relationship to deepen, to be bonded by truth and emotional honesty. They feel that if the relationship continues to consist only of pleasant words, carefully filtered emotions, and peace that is maintained by silence, then eventually, that foundation will collapse. That's why they're looking for a way to rebuild from the ground up, a relationship where both of you can face all sides of each other, even the imperfect ones. And this is something they deeply want to express to you. At the very least, it seems they're currently carrying within themselves things they've been quietly enduring, thoughts and feelings they haven't yet been able to voice. But precisely because they take this relationship seriously, because they don't want it to be something fleeting or superficial but something lasting, they're beginning to decide, from now on, they will try not to hide their emotions anymore. They want to speak from the heart, even if, at times, those truths may be difficult for you to hear, or maybe things you would rather not have to confront. However, the reason they say those somewhat unpleasant things is not because they want to hurt you, nor because they want to selfishly live on their own terms. On the contrary, it is precisely because they want this relationship to last longer, to be more genuine, that they now wish to learn how to be more honest and straightforward. They want you to know, from now on, I will try to express what I truly feel, not to upset you, but so that we can truly understand each other. Therefore, for those who are currently in a relationship, this person might be wanting to directly express this to you. And if the two of you have already broken up, then perhaps the cause of the separation stemmed from this very issue. One of you, either this person or yourself, was once unable to voice what was truly in the heart, choosing silence over sharing, which led the relationship to become strained and eventually fall apart. It's possible that you both missed a chance simply because you weren't honest enough to speak your truth. And now, this person wants to say, I want to start over. I want to rebuild everything from the beginning. That is what they are trying to convey to you. They are thinking, I wish I could tell you this. Even though they may not be certain if they will actually say it out loud, that sincere desire is very present in their mind, clearly and undeniably. And right now, as I draw a card to see whether they will actually say anything to you in the near future, the card that appears is the Queen of Pentacles. A truly seamless connection. This reveals that they see in you a figure of warmth, compassion, and reliability. They are longing for a relationship that is steady, mature, and safe enough for both people to be their true selves, even in moments of vulnerability, even in times of disagreement. They are turning toward you as a place to come home to, and they are earnestly trying, step by step, to bring the words out of their mind and turn the things they've been holding in into something more sincere and tangible. Then, the next card is the Six of Cups. Oh, how tender. Let me pull one more card from the Oracle deck. Now, the core message they truly want to send to you, the thing they will say, or are getting ready to say, is this. They want to be with you for the long term. They want to build a lasting life together with you. That is what they want to express, not merely a wish, but a serious intention they've been thinking deeply about and genuinely want to bring to life. They also say that lately, they've been thinking a lot about the past between the two of you. Whether the two of you are currently in a relationship, no longer in one, or have already parted ways, it's not the present state that they're reminiscing about, but a time that has already passed, the early days when you first met. Or when the connection between you is still gentle and pure. Whether that moment came at the beginning of the relationship or after you'd been together for a while, they still remember clearly the moments when the bond between you was truly beautiful. They are remembering a time when both of you were in sync, sharing the same emotions, the same care, walking the same path with sincerity. They recall the tenderness that once existed between you, a time when both could express their thoughts freely and yet still honor and care for one another. It was a time when you could say what you felt, and so could they, but no one got hurt. There were no harsh words, only affection and truth. And it is precisely that gentle image that is making them feel the desire to return, not to repeat the past exactly as it was, but to recreate the sincerity and unguardedness that once existed between the two of you. That is what they want to tell you, that they miss you, they miss what the two of you once had, and they want to restore that connection, once again, with greater maturity and a deeper intention for the future. They are remembering a time when the two of you could speak your hearts freely without having to hold back. You used to be like that, not without boundaries, but with enough trust to share anything naturally. However, there is a very important point here. Even though both of you could express your thoughts without fear, it always came with a sense of sensitivity and care for each other. They are telling you that it was precisely this combination of honesty and understanding that created such a warm and heartfelt relationship. They are reminiscing about a time when the two of you could speak your minds truthfully, while still choosing your words carefully so as not to hurt each other. There is a saying that goes, You don't have to be cautious, but you still need to be delicate. And that perfectly describes the way the two of you once treated each other. There was no need to suppress emotions, yet there was never rudeness or selfishness. Every word spoken, whether it was feedback, a difference in opinion, or something hard to say, came from a place of care for the other person. Both of you knew how to choose the right moment, the right tone, and always put each other's hearts first. That's why, even when there were disagreements, you could still receive each other's perspectives with gentleness and respect. That warmth, that peaceful atmosphere, they remember it vividly. They remember the moments when the two of you were still us in the best possible way, sincere without being clumsy, honest while remaining thoughtful. And now, they are saying, I want to return to that feeling. I want our relationship to be like that once again. It's a wish born from a beautiful memory, from a time when the two of you were truly good to each other. And they are hoping, seriously and deeply, that the two of you can find your way back to that once more. And one more thing, the message from this card, the one titled Universal Consciousness, is gently reminding you that there is a connection between the two of you that transcends time. This is a card of deep connection, and right now, this person is feeling that the present can only exist because of the past. Your relationship is not defined solely by what is happening now, but is also nurtured by everything you once shared. They are thinking, because the two of you once had something truly beautiful, harmonious, and sincere, that kind of connection cannot simply disappear. Even if you have gone separate ways for now, the bond between you has never been completely severed. It still exists. And precisely because of that, they believe that the two of you can absolutely return to that beautiful place once again. In addition, the message from this card also touches on a very real aspect of your current situation. It's possible that there is a tension between the two of you right now, a place where both sides are holding tightly to their own perspectives. Perhaps one of you, or even both, are in a state of mind that says, I don't want to give in. I don't want to let go of what I believe is right. Maybe you feel that the other person isn't meeting your expectations, not saying what you need to hear, not behaving in the way you need them to. And conversely, they may also feel that you're not giving them what they long for. It's possible that both of you are quietly carrying your own frustrations, feeling a sense of lack because the other person isn't responding in the way you had hoped. And perhaps, both of you believe that avoiding conflict, staying silent, and keeping things unspoken is the best way to preserve peace in the relationship. But in truth, that silence is slowly creating more distance. They are starting to realize that silence isn't always a good thing. Avoiding conflict doesn't necessarily mean peace. True connection comes from having the courage to speak honestly, to express one's feelings, and to face things directly. And because this relationship once had a strong foundation, they believe that as long as both of you are willing to open your hearts, everything can still be mended, right from where it once began. Even if things between you two are currently tense or not going well, they are gradually coming to understand something very important. All this time, they've been seeing things too superficially, too much on the surface. This is not them blaming you for being shallow, absolutely not. This is their own awakening. They are saying, I've realized that I viewed everything too simply, stopping only at the surface of the issue. For instance, during times of disagreement between the two of you, they used to believe that staying silent, avoiding arguments or reacting in any way, meant everything was still okay. Or that when neither of you clearly expressed what you truly thought, it could be interpreted as peace. But now, they've come to understand that those things were merely surface level, an illusion of stability. If they truly want to walk a long road by your side, they know they have to go deeper. There need to be honest conversations. They must learn how to share even the difficult things, as long as both of you continue to care for and respect one another. And that is exactly what they want to tell you now. They want you to know that they themselves have come to realize the importance of sincere communication. That if the two of you are to stay together in the long run, what's needed isn't the avoidance of conflict, but the courage to speak, to share, and to do so with mutual understanding and emotional sensitivity. They hope that you, too, will speak your mind. They want both of you to be able to express yourselves honestly while still caring for each other's feelings, just like you once could in the past. And they're thinking, if back then, we were able to share with such sincerity, then surely, we can find our way back to that again. They're hoping, longing, and at the same time, quietly wondering, are you willing to rebuild that with me? Perhaps this message will especially resonate with those who have parted ways with this person. Because deep down, There's still a thread that connects them to you, a wish to reconcile, not through artificial surface peace, but through a relationship far deeper and more genuine than before. It truly feels that way. But this isn't necessarily a message meant only for those who have broken up. The energy of this reading doesn't carry that kind of limitation. Even if you and this person haven't separated and are still together, the message still applies. Because it speaks of a shift between the relationship as it is now and the way it once was. Over time, with familiarity, the sense of understanding and closeness between you is beginning to take on a different shape. That feeling of freshness and appreciation from the early days is now evolving into a new form of connection. There are people who have tried to avoid conflict because arguing feels exhausting and troublesome. So instead, they just nod, apologize, say yes, yes, I know, just to get it over with. Both individuals may have chosen not to express their true feelings, instead striving to maintain a peaceful, pleasant atmosphere as if the relationship were still stable. But in reality, that created a kind of false peace, a surface-level harmony that merely sounded agreeable and felt comfortable. And because of that, the relationship has gradually changed into something where neither of them feels like their true self anymore. That's why this person, your counterpart, wants to say, if the two of you could return to the kind of connection you once had, the kind that was heartfelt and honest, where everything could be said without holding back or avoiding the truth, then this would certainly be a relationship that could last. That is exactly what they want to express. They want to tell you that. Now, let's listen closely to what lies behind those words. What is the context, the underlying motivation that drives them to say this to you? The card that appears is the Two of Swords. I will draw another card for clarification. Alright, now we have both the Two of Swords and the Two of Wands showing up. This person is standing at a crossroads, trying to make a decision. Whether the two of you are currently dating, not in a relationship, or have already broken up, they see the current dynamic between you as far from ideal or sustainable in the long run. They are thinking, things can't go on like this. That's why they want to restructure the relationship. They want both of you to re-examine and adjust the way you connect so that the relationship has a chance to last. So, when this person speaks those words to you, when they express that desire, it means they are preparing to make a choice. They are trying to feel out what your reaction might be. When they say, I want us to be able to speak our truths, to rebuild this connection into something deeper and more honest, not just something on the surface, and your response is something like, well, you go ahead and talk. I'm not used to sharing. I'm not good at expressing my emotions, so it's fine if you just talk, or even, honestly, speaking the truth is exhausting. Let's just keep things peaceful. Then that might lead to their disappointment. What they truly want is for both of you to make an effort together. To create a kind of connection where even the difficult things, the awkward or uncomfortable truths, can still be shared. They want to do this with you, but if they sense that you don't have the same desire, that you don't want to change the current way of relating, then there's a real chance they may pull back. So when they bring this message to you, it's because they're standing at a turning point, waiting to see whether you'll choose to move forward with them to rebuild this relationship, or whether this is where things will end. This person wants to know, are you someone who would say, yes, I want to rebuild this kind of relationship with you too? They want to say this to you because deep down, they genuinely wish to stay by your side in the long term. That's why they want to build a relationship where the two of you can share your true feelings, even the hard ones, but express them with gentleness and care. They are ready to be that kind of person, someone who can listen and who dares to speak their truth with honesty and sincerity. If you feel the same, if you, too, are ready for a deeper kind of connection, then the two of you can move forward together. But if you're not ready, or if you don't wish to move toward that kind of bond, then perhaps they won't be able to choose the path that leads forward with you. This person is seeking an answer in order to make their final decision. It feels as though they're preparing to face you directly, to ask you something decisive. Do you truly want to improve this relationship with them? Do you truly want to move forward together? Because from their side, they already want to take that next step. They want to be more serious, more sincere in this relationship. But now, they need to know whether you share that same direction. And that's why they want to ask. They want to hear it clearly from you. So why haven't they been able to say all of this before? Let's ask the oracle cards to uncover the deeper reasons why they've kept these feelings to themselves. I'll also draw another card from the tarot deck. The card that appears is a cup card. The reason they couldn't say it before is because, to them, the relationship has always been a source of joy. In their eyes, the connection with you has been something pleasant, delightful, a genuine source of happiness. It felt like the default state, something light, easy, and pressure-free. They had grown used to simply enjoying that joy with you. Between the two of you, there had always been an atmosphere of ease, and it was precisely that lightness that made them hesitate to bring in anything more serious or deeper, for fear of disrupting the joyful space that existed between you. This person once felt, "We're already having such a good time, why make things serious?" So they held back the things they wanted to say, not because there was nothing to say, but because they were afraid that if they brought up something too serious or raised an issue directly, it might ruin the sense of happiness and ease that existed between the two of you. The time you've spent together, as well as the very nature of this relationship, has always revolved around joy. That feeling of happiness seemed to be the core of everything. And because of that, serious conversations, tough topics, or heavy issues seldom arose. Understandably so, because conversations like, "This situation is making me uncomfortable, can we try to work on it together?" are not exactly lighthearted or easy to have. This person understands that. There were times when they did face those difficult issues, times when they tried to bring things up and have those conversations in an attempt to resolve things together. But over time, that became troublesome. It began to feel like too much effort. And gradually, they started choosing avoidance instead. Rather than speaking up about what bothered them, they chose to stay silent, to let it go, to activate their ability to ignore. In doing so, they managed to preserve the cheerful, light-hearted atmosphere. As long as they made the effort to hold things in and avoided turning small issues into big ones, the relationship could still appear stable on the surface. For example, when you said, "I don't like that," they would immediately respond with something like, okay, I understand." But deep down, they may not have truly considered making any real change. Still, as long as they said something that sounded agreeable, something easy on the ears, things could be smoothed over and the cheerful atmosphere could continue. In their mind, simply maintaining that pleasant vibe was enough. They now admit that there were times when they genuinely believed that keeping up this outward sense of happiness was sufficient, that it was good enough. And that belief held them back from actively deepening the relationship. Because being with you brought them so much joy, so much comfort, there was always a sense of excitement, of energy, of ease. That comfort made them postpone expressing what they truly felt. It made them delay asking the serious questions, delay taking a deeper look at the nature of your connection. Even though this relationship has brought a great sense of ease and comfort, when someone starts thinking seriously about long-term commitment, about truly walking through life together, the kind of connection that revolves solely around joy and going with the flow is no longer enough. Because at some point, both people will inevitably face walls, issues that cannot be avoided. If they keep choosing the path of peaceful cooperation, only saying what's easy to hear, continuing life with the mindset of as long as we're happy, it's fine, then although the happiness may persist, the relationship won't be able to grow any deeper. This person has come to realize that. They've realized that if things continue as they are, the relationship won't be able to move forward. But the reason they couldn't express this sooner is because they used to believe that as long as things were happy and going well in the present, that was enough. They thought there was no need to stir things up, no need to complicate anything further. As long as the joy could be preserved, as long as there was no conflict, then that was happiness. That was the belief they clung to for so long, and it's also the reason why they remained silent. But it is precisely because they now truly want to be with you, because they want something serious, because they want to build a lasting relationship, that they've started to think differently. They no longer want to settle for surface-level happiness. Of course, joy is still precious, but if that's all there is, it won't be enough. They want to go further with you, deeper, more honestly. And because they've decided to face you with sincerity, they've chosen to speak these words now. Next, let's look at what kind of impact this confession may have on your relationship, what kind of shift it might bring to your connection. The card that appears is the Seven of Cups. All right, I'll draw one more card from the Oracle deck for deeper insight. The Oracle card carries a message of inner peace, and it speaks clearly. You and this person absolutely have the ability to choose the same path, to choose to truly become a pair, and to move forward together toward a connection that is both deep and lasting. When this card appears, it often signals that inner peace is approaching. And even more beautifully, There will be people, or perhaps the very person you're thinking of, who are ready to recognize that, to support you, and to walk alongside you on the journey toward that peace and connection. In other words, this is a card that shows you are not alone. There will be someone to help you co-create that state of serenity. And in this context, what the card is saying is this: if you can receive their offer, their invitation to rebuild, to deepen the relationship, to move beyond something that is merely pleasant into something truly lasting, if you can say, yes, I want that too, and open your heart to it, then you and this person will officially begin walking a shared path. When you accept that offer, when you respond with genuine willingness and say that you two are ready to try, then the two of you are no longer just separate individuals. You become a unified whole, a merging of intentions, emotions, and actions. As strange as it may sound, it's true. The two of you become one connected entity, choosing the path ahead together. And once that decision is made, the road itself, the shared path, will become clearer than ever before. The universe will respond by unfolding that path before you, because both of you have made the choice. We will continue, but this time, truly together. That's why, when this person shares these words with you, the way you respond will shape the direction of the relationship from here. They are telling you that the road ahead for both of you will change. It will take a new turn based on your answer. So, if you feel that your answer is yes, if you feel, yes, I want that too, let's give this our best, then say it. Say, I will try as well. I know that in the past, I've held back my emotions, chosen silence, believed that staying quiet could avoid conflict, avoid serious conversations, and that doing so would help preserve the joy and lightness in our relationship. But I understand now that just that alone won't take us any further. And tell them, from now on, I will try to express myself more. I will be mindful of my words, but I will speak what I feel. I will do this because I want our relationship to grow deeper. If you can say that, if you can respond with genuine alignment, then believe this: there will be people around you who support your connection. Imagine that when you say those words, you're not only speaking to them, you're also receiving unseen support from the universe, from those who've always wished the best for you. When both of you affirm a shared intention and align in action, the path of living together, the future you've both quietly carried within as a possibility, will begin to unfold with clarity, stability, and presence. That door has been there all along, and this very moment is the one in which you and they may choose to step through it together. But as of now, the truth is that neither of you has fully made that choice. However, if in the moment they open their heart to you, you can receive their offer with genuine alignment. If you can say, yes, I want the same, and I'm truly ready to grow and change with you, to work on this relationship together, then the shared path between you will begin to open. And that path will not belong to just the two of you alone. It will be supported and uplifted by the energies around you, by sacred forces that have been watching over and encouraging this connection all along. The card of connection has also appeared, signaling that the bond between you and this person may be a deeply rooted one. It could be a karmic tie from a past life, or a powerful form of spiritual connection. I sense that many who are drawn to this reading carry within them this kind of special bond, not merely a relationship in the present moment, but the continuation of a profound soul connection. Therefore, the core message here is choice. Everything now rests in your hands. And to close this reading, let us turn to guidance. What should you prepare for, emotionally and spiritually, if you do hear these words from them? How can you receive it in the right way, allowing the relationship to move forward in the most positive direction? The Oracle card appeared almost instantly, and it is a truly beautiful one, titled Restore Balance. The message from this card is, restore balance. It means that throughout this journey, you and this person may have gone through many things: lighthearted joys, unspoken truths, silent compromises, moments of confusion, or even hidden wounds that were never voiced. Now is the time to bring everything back into harmony, not swaying entirely toward emotion, nor suppressing everything with logic, not continuing to endure in silence, but also not forcing anyone to change too quickly. Return to yourself, to your truest heart, and from that space, receive their offer with steadiness, gentleness, and sincerity. When you are truly balanced within, the answer you give will be the most authentic and right one. And from that place, the path for the two of you will unfold naturally, supported and guided every step of the way. You and this person have already been through so much together, and those experiences, The lessons meant to unfold between you during this phase have now come to completion. Everything that needed to be felt, understood, and lived has already happened. And now it is time to close this chapter. But completion here does not mean an ending. It does not signify a breakup or that there is nothing left. Rather, it is the closure of one stage in order to prepare for the next one in your relationship. The card is saying, now is not the time for struggle, anxiety, or rushing into action. There is no need to overthink what to do to change the situation, nor to try to control the other person or force yourself to react emotionally. The necessary experiences of this stage have come to a close, and now your task is to restore inner balance, to prepare for a shift into a deeper level of connection. So, if you've been feeling unsettled, if your emotions have been swinging unpredictably, or if you've been trying to control the other person or doing things just to keep them close, then stop. This is not the time to act out of instinct. It is the time to turn inward, to return to stillness and balance within yourself. Let your soul settle into stillness. Bring your focus inward, realign your center so that you feel grounded and at peace. What you need to do now is not to analyze someone else's thoughts or stir up your own emotions by overthinking about them. Instead, it is to turn inward, clear the emotional clutter within yourself, so that you can step into the next phase with lightness, confidence, and emotional clarity. This is the best way to prepare for the coming transition, a place where a truly mature and deeper relationship is waiting for you. If you're currently feeling like your emotions are fluctuating too wildly, easily thrown off balance, then what's needed is to soften that swing, bring yourself back to a more stable, centered state. And to do that, you can gently ask yourself, what is it time to release? What is it time to receive, so that I can restore my inner harmony? For example, you might try physical exercise. When you move your body, positive energy is awakened and begins to flow. Especially if you often struggle with insomnia or find yourself restless at night, which can seriously affect your mental balance. Engaging in physical activity helps the body feel naturally tired, making it easier to fall into a deeper, more restful sleep. It doesn't have to be intense workouts or gym sessions, just any form of movement that suits you can already make a meaningful difference. Of course, this is just one example. Each person has their own way of recalibrating their inner state. What matters most is that you begin to turn back toward yourself, listen to your body and your emotions, and take deliberate steps to restore inner balance. You might try thinking along the lines of, I haven't been moving much, maybe it's time to bring some physical activity into my daily routine. Directing your attention inward in this way is a form of consciously creating stability. When your inner world no longer feels unsettled, you'll be able to step into the next phase with more confidence and intention. Looking at the overall flow of this reading, it's clear that the relationship between you and this person is standing at a threshold. They are in the midst of making a choice, and depending on your response, the two of you can fully transition into a new chapter. And once you are truly ready, once your answer comes from a place of grounded inner strength, the universe will respond by offering unmistakable support for the path ahead that you and this person may walk together. That's why, once the support from the universe arrives and you say, I'm ready to receive, the most important thing is that you are truly prepared to step into the next phase. If your inner world is still unsettled, if your emotional state isn't yet steady, it will be difficult to rise to the next level of this journey. So the guidance here is clear. Bring yourself into a state of balance that you can maintain on your own, so that when the opportunity comes, you can step forward without hesitation. I'll close the reading for those who chose pile 2 here. If something in today's message helped your heart feel more at ease, or stirred a thought or a feeling within you, feel free to leave a symbol, or a few words in the comments. Just the lightest sign is enough for me to know that the message from the universe has reached the soul it was meant for. Thank you so much for listening. I hope we meet again in the next readings, where you are always welcomed with deep respect and heartfelt understanding. Hello to those who chose pile 3. Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those who selected the 3rd pile. I hope this message brings you healing, fresh insights, and moments filled with warmth and love. The theme is what this person is about to say to you. First, let's listen to what this person, the one you have in mind, is longing to express to you. This first question isn't yet the heart of the message, but rather an invitation to explore the emotions they're trying to voice, the thoughts and feelings they deeply wish they could put into words. They may not be able to say it exactly like this out loud, but these are the sentiments they yearn to share with you. Because not everyone finds it easy to express their emotions clearly, let's begin by tuning into this deeper layer. The first card that appears is the Nine of Wands, followed by the Three of Cups. And now I'll draw one more card from the Oracle deck to further illuminate the message. I sense that this person, the one you're thinking of, is hiding a part of their true emotions. They're not showing everything. And I feel quite clearly that they understand how you feel about them. This person knows. They know you have feelings, they know you care, they even know how much they're on your mind. But there's something inside them they're keeping hidden. Maybe they don't feel confident enough to face what you're offering them. Maybe they feel undeserving of your sincerity. Or perhaps they've been hurt before, and now they're cautious, guarded, even though deep down they long to be closer to you. The Nine of Wands shows someone in a defensive stance. They've been through something that made them wary, always in a state of quiet self-protection, not letting anyone come too close. But then comes the Three of Cups, revealing a very real desire to be with you, to share joyful, lighthearted, and comforting moments together. They want to feel happiness. They crave intimacy, but they fear it, even as they yearn for it. And the Oracle card that appeared speaks very clearly as well. This person is hiding part of their true feelings. On the outside, they may seem cheerful, carefree, or even indifferent, but inside, there's a storm of emotions. They're not speaking up not because there's nothing to say, but because they haven't found the courage yet. They're not ready, or they're waiting for something that will allow them to open up and reveal their heart. So, what they want to say to you, though they may not be able to put it into words yet, is this: I know you care. I know you feel something for me. And the truth is, I feel something too. But I can't show it to you yet. I'm trying to protect myself. I'm trying not to hurt anyone, not even myself. Feelings like I like you, or even I love you, for this person, that is something they deeply yearn for. The love you hold for them, the sincerity you carry in your heart, that is exactly what they need, what they've been searching for. They want that. They see it as something precious, something that stirs their heart in a profound way. And yet, even so, even with the recognition and desire in their heart, they are still resisting. They are still holding up a wall, not allowing themselves to step fully into that truth. They are saying, I once tried not to allow myself to accept those feelings. Perhaps because they were afraid of getting hurt. Perhaps because within them existed a boundary, a line they had drawn themselves, believing they should not cross it. They feared that if they opened up, if they welcomed it, if they allowed themselves to truly feel, something painful would happen, so they chose to suppress it or pretend they were unaware of your feelings. As a result, even though they were fully aware of the emotions you were giving them, even though they recognized your care, your sincerity, your affection, they still acted as if they didn't see it. They maintained a certain distance, appearing indifferent. Not because they didn't feel it, but because they didn't dare to touch it. But understand this, when they are with you, their heart is genuinely stirred. There's something in you that brings them joy, that makes them feel seen and understood. You bring them a sense of ease and lightness, as if both of you share the same frequency of laughter, the same rhythm of emotion. Everything you think, say, and share, they feel it all. They understand. And truly, this person does have clear feelings for you. It's just that they haven't yet found the courage to face those emotions, not yours and not even their own. That's why this person, when they realize that you have feelings for them, that you genuinely care and are reaching out to them, it brings them joy. Truly, it makes them happy. Because deep down, they had once longed for your affection, had once hoped to be loved by you. It was something they had deeply yearned for. And yet, even though they know this is what they want, even though their heart stirs and wants to reciprocate, they still can't easily allow themselves to accept it. They are saying, I'm afraid. If I accept this love, if I truly open my heart, I might get hurt. Perhaps it's because of a wound from the past, perhaps it's due to current circumstances, or maybe because of something deeper that even they can't easily put into words, but clearly, they have drawn a line for themselves. They've told themselves, I'm not allowed to cross that line. I shouldn't embrace this love. That's why they try not to show anything. They intentionally act indifferent, or behave as if nothing is happening, as if there's nothing special going on. They build a wall not to push you away, but to protect themselves. Even though deep inside, they feel exactly what you do. They like you, they resonate with you, they long to be close, They believe they're not allowed to feel that way. They lock their heart away, even though what they truly long for is a connection with you. And what they're feeling now is, I need to say this. They know that the way they've been acting, pretending not to feel anything, acting unaware of your love, might have hurt you. But it's not because they don't care. It's because they believe they can't or shouldn't receive it. They are torn about this. Because they know being loved by you is something they once wished for. Being noticed by you genuinely makes them happy. They care about you deeply, but they haven't shown it. And now, they feel they need to be honest. They need to explain why they acted like they weren't accepting it. Why they tried to hide what their heart has always wanted. Because they know that staying silent will only make it hurt more for both of you. There may be a barrier between the two of you. Perhaps it's a dynamic like teacher and student, client and service provider, or one person working in a field tied to fame, surrounded by admirers. It could even be a more complicated connection, an affair, a significant age gap, or something else entirely. There could be many reasons, and this person is subtly hinting that this barrier is part of why they can't easily accept your feelings, even though, deep down, they long to. And now, let's look at what this person is about to say to you, the message they are likely to express directly in the near future. The first card drawn is the Page of Swords. The second is the Eight of Swords. Immediately, these cards reveal someone who is hesitant, filled with thoughts but unsure how to articulate them. They're in a state of watchfulness, as if waiting for the right moment to speak a truth they've been holding in. At the same time, they feel trapped, like something is binding them, keeping them from acting freely. This could be social pressure, the complexity of the relationship, or a fear of facing the truth. Next, as I drew additional cards, we received the Magician, the Six of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. The Magician indicates that this person is considering speaking up. They want to take initiative, to make something happen, to take matters into their own hands. However, the Four of Pentacles shows that they are still holding on tightly to something. They haven't been able to let go, to relax, still clinging to a fear of loss or change. The Six of Cups reveals a sense of nostalgia. There may have been a beautiful time shared between the two of you, whether in the present or in memory. This person still holds onto those feelings and wants to reconnect, but doing so comfortably and openly isn't easy for them. And finally, the High Priestess, a card of intuition, of the unspoken, once again confirms that most of what this person feels is still being kept deep inside. You may have sensed this intuitively, and the truth is, you were right. They do have feelings. But they are still silent, still watching, still holding those emotions close like a quiet secret. In summary, what this person is about to say may be tentative and incomplete. They won't bare their entire heart, but they might reveal a part of the truth, just enough for you to understand that they do have feelings, yet something is holding them back. And for them, that alone is already a huge step, a breaking of the silence they've held onto for so long. They are saying, I feel like there's nothing I can do. Perhaps the reality isn't as hopeless as that, but from their perspective, from their experiences, their current state of mind, and everything they've lived through, this is the only conclusion they can reach. They feel stuck. Even though, in theory, there might be a way forward, their current limitations in understanding, skill, or inner strength make it impossible for them to see a way out. And this is what they want to tell you. Even in the midst of feeling powerless, they still hold one thing certain. They don't want to let you go. They can't give up. They don't want to lose the connection between the two of you. They can't ignore it, can't turn away coldly as if nothing ever happened. They simply can't. They are telling you that they cannot bear the thought of you leaving their life. They can't accept that. Even if they're unable to act, the feelings remain intact within them. This person thinks about you constantly. A lot. They replay the moments you've shared, the beautiful memories, the emotions you've stirred in them. And they genuinely want this relationship to grow. They want the two of you to move forward, to go farther together. There are times when they feel full of confidence, when they believe that no matter what the future holds, they can overcome it all with their own strength. In those moments, they feel ready to act, ready to change, ready to rise above everything just to be with you. But then, there are moments of doubt. They wonder, am I being too naive? Have I truly thought this through? And so, they hesitate again, stepping back into uncertainty. Right now, they are caught in that very state, sometimes confident, sometimes lost. One moment they want to move forward, and the next, they pull themselves back. Because they think, maybe I'm still not strong enough. I need to think this through more carefully. I can't take that step unless I'm sure I won't hurt anyone, not them and not myself. This person is in a constant inner tug-of-war. At times, they think, I need to come up with a better solution, a more reasonable path. Maybe there's something I can do. But almost immediately after, they spiral into worry. What if I fail? What if I'm rushing things? I need more time to think. And so it goes back and forth between two extremes, moments of wanting to take action, followed by hesitation born from fear of failure. And it is this very uncertainty that keeps them from moving forward, that prevents them from taking any decisive step. They don't have enough confidence to choose a clear direction, and so they remain stuck in a loop, unable to advance, but also unable to let go. And in the midst of it all, the only thing that remains clear is this: they cannot stop thinking about you. This person is constantly thinking of you. They revisit the moments you shared, the joyful, peaceful, and happy times. Even though they can't act now, even though they're unable to make a decision, they still carry thoughts of you in their heart. And it is precisely because they cannot let you go that they find themselves in such turmoil. They are saying, I can't accept your love, not because I don't want to, but because I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm not ready. If I step across this line now, if I embrace you before I'm truly prepared, I will end up hurting you. And I'll hurt myself, too. So, they choose to turn away, but it's a rejection full of contradiction. They're not accepting your love, not because they don't feel it, but because they do. It's because they love you that they're afraid. They're afraid that if they take it, they might ruin something precious. If there is one thing that is absolutely certain in this person's heart, it is this: they cannot stop thinking about you. And they cannot let you go. They can't forget you, and they can't walk away. It's this inability to let you go that keeps them in such confusion. And it's tearing them apart. And they want you to know this. They want you to understand that they're turning you away not because the love is gone, but because they love you so deeply that they're afraid of hurting something so precious when they themselves are not yet ready. Right now, this person is preparing to speak their truth, that they've been suppressing their feelings for you, that they've been trying not to receive the love you're offering even though their heart longs for it, and that they've partially opened up about why they can't come closer. But more important than the words themselves is the intention behind them, the true emotions hidden beneath their hesitant expression. The card that appears here speaks clearly. This person is yearning to receive energy from you. They are in a state of inner turmoil, caught between the desire to move toward you and the fear that keeps them from acting. They're saying, I can't forget you. I think about you constantly. I don't want to let go. But at the same time, they are also admitting, I don't know what to do. I don't have the answers. I don't have the strength to find the way on my own. And right now, what they truly long for is your energy, your support, your gentleness, a signal that helps them feel safe enough to take a step toward you. Even though a part of the answer is already clear within them, even though they likely know they love you, taking that step forward requires tremendous courage. Because this is not a small matter. This is a major decision. And like anyone standing on the threshold of profound change, they feel fear, they feel uncertain. They ask themselves, am I making the right choice? Am I strong enough to protect this person? If I take this step, will it lead to pain for both of us? And they don't want to face that fear alone. They want you to be there, not necessarily to pull them forward, but simply to stand there, with open arms, offering a sense of safety. They need you, not just as a lover, but as a source of light. So, even if their words on the outside might be, I can't, or I'm not ready, what their heart is truly saying is something else. Please don't let go of me. Stay just a little longer. Believe in me, even when I can't believe in myself. I will come to you just as long as you're still there. I believe this person truly wants you to help push back their fear, to encourage them to move forward. The intention behind their sharing is that they are yearning for your energy. They need your strength and support to take the next step. When they open up and express these things, they're hoping you'll give them a gentle push on the shoulder, just enough for them to find the courage and strength to move ahead. They believe that if you can offer them that encouragement, they will finally dare to move forward and stop hesitating. So now, I will continue drawing guidance for you to understand how you should respond when this person opens up so that both of you can move together toward a more positive path. This is a truly important moment. The card that appears is the Nine of Cups. I also drew an additional card from the Oracle deck. This card brings a message of gentle and deeply positive guidance for you. When this person opens up and shares these feelings, remember that you are fully capable of understanding and empathizing with them. You know that you, too, have days when emotions fluctuate, times when you want to keep trying, and times when you feel exhausted, discouraged, and wonder if perhaps it's better to let go. That is completely normal and perfectly human. So when you receive their words, respond with gentleness and compassion. Let them see that you understand, that you've also felt that way before. That's how both of you can move forward together, by facing these challenges with warmth in your hearts and strength in your connection. Even though this person loves you deeply, and there are moments when they truly recognize and feel that love, I believe you understand as well. Your relationship has gone through many storms, many challenges. Yet no matter what has happened, you still haven't been able to let go of the love you feel for them. That love remains whole, ever present in your heart. As for them, despite trying so hard to be strong, to the point of building walls and barriers to protect themselves, they still can't stop thinking about you. They keep telling themselves they can't cross this line because the fear of getting hurt is too great. But at the same time, the love they feel for you continues to burn fiercely within. This inner torment shows just how intensely they are struggling inside. The two of you have been through so much together, so many complicated situations. But what truly matters is that, despite everything, neither of you has been able to stop thinking about the other. You still care, still ache over this connection. That lingering attachment, the inability to walk away, to forget, is the greatest answer to all the doubts and confusion you both carry. So the message here is, don't give up too soon. Don't let the difficulties, the distance, or the obstacles cloud the genuine love that exists between you. Nurture the dreams you share for the future, the vision of a strong, lasting relationship, of a love that is whole and fulfilled. No matter what has happened in the past, one thing has remained unchanged. Your hearts are still reaching for each other. So instead of fighting these deep emotions, allow them in. Embrace this love, accept it, and together, begin to shape the future you both long for. That is the message I wish to offer you, a sincere and heartfelt piece of guidance from the soul of a tarot reader. I believe that instead of constantly setting limits, telling yourselves what shouldn't be done, what mustn't happen, it's time for the two of you to accept the reality that the bond between you has grown too deep to deny. So why not move towards shared happiness? Why not begin imagining a future just for the two of you? Even if the path ahead is uncertain, you could take that first step together and see where it leads. That is the message, the encouragement I want to offer you, a gentle push to help you find the strength and confidence to pursue the dream that belongs to both of you. It's a way for you to move forward together, to build something more beautiful and more meaningful, a relationship rooted in understanding and mutual acceptance. To me, this is a truly heartfelt and meaningful piece of advice. If you feel a sense of resonance within, then be bold enough to take a step in that direction. I believe it will be a journey worth taking. Finally, I will look into how these words, these truths spoken from the heart, might influence your relationship, and what kind of transformation they could bring. The card that appears is the Chariot, a symbol of powerful movement and forward momentum. It signifies the beginning of a new chapter in your lives, a pivotal moment where destiny is pulling the two of you closer together. The next card is Crossroads, representing a major choice, a turning point. It suggests that the two of you are standing at a critical juncture in your relationship. The road ahead holds many possible directions, and together, you must decide which path to take. The message is this: right now, you are both standing at a crossroads. The words your person is about to say will act as a catalyst, sparking significant transformation. You and they will need to choose the right path forward, and that choice will profoundly shape the future you create together. This is a defining moment, filled with challenge, but also brimming with opportunity, a chance to take your relationship to a deeper, more meaningful level. Your person is in need of your help to push back their fear. They need your strength so they can step forward. Deep down, they've already made their decision. The path they want is the one that leads to you. They want to share a life, to build a future with you. But it's a momentous decision, and they're standing at the crossroads, unsure of how to take that next step. If you can receive and understand the thoughts and hesitant confessions they're trying to share, like a message waiting for your response, a lingering doubt yet to be resolved, then they will find the courage to make their decision. And once that decision is made, they won't hold back. Your relationship will begin to move forward swiftly and powerfully, step by step. The things that once felt stuck or stagnant will be reawakened, setting everything in motion and bringing exciting new growth. However, one thing remains clear: there is still a barrier between the two of you. I believe this obstacle is not the same for everyone. It depends on your unique circumstances and the story you share. But at the core of it is a hesitation, a question they keep turning over in their heart. Should they allow themselves to receive your love? And it is this very uncertainty that creates distance and keeps them from fully opening up. Although a clear decision has already formed in their heart, the presence of these inner and outer barriers continues to hold them back, preventing them from fully moving toward you. This person is not someone who acts on impulse or fleeting emotion. Even with clarity inside, they still struggle to accept your love or take the next step in the relationship. They are, at their core, a kind and thoughtful soul, someone who doesn't want to be the bad person in the story. They don't want to hurt anyone, and especially, they don't want to be seen as someone who does the wrong thing. If you respond to their vulnerable confession with a tone of "don't run, don't be afraid, just face it," they will likely feel even more trapped in their inner conflict. They will remain stuck, unable to move forward, paralyzed by the pressure. Instead, try to understand them. Acknowledge that they are carrying a heavy burden of guilt, fear, and emotional conflict. They worry that if they accept your love with full sincerity, they might end up hurting you or themselves. They're unsure whether they can embrace and live truthfully with those emotions without getting wounded in the process. But in the end, no matter how many hardships or upheavals you've both faced, you still haven't truly been able to part from one another. Even in times of physical distance or emotional disconnect, your hearts have continued to hold on to the love you share. That has never changed. They are saying, "I've come to accept that I don't know what will happen next. But I think maybe I should try to open my heart and look toward the happiness we might be able to create together." This is how they wish to express their message, gently, sincerely, and with depth, so that you can feel the honesty and quiet determination within their words. This person may soon begin to take action to move forward. They are no longer so afraid of being seen as the bad person because the love they feel for you has remained steady and unwavering. And they now understand that if that love hasn't changed, then maybe it's time to accept it, to welcome it, and to begin envisioning a future together. They are starting to shift their perspective, to see things in a more positive light, to open their heart to the possibilities that lie ahead. And this transformation will unfold quickly, propelling the two of you forward with strength and completeness. It marks a beautiful turning point. With that, I'll close the reading for those who chose pile 3. If your heart has felt comforted or awakened by any part of today's message, don't hesitate to leave a greeting, an emoji, or any words you wish to share. To me, every response from you is a living heartbeat, a sign that the invisible threads between us are truly connecting. Thank you for listening with your whole heart. I look forward to meeting you again on the next journey.